Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC in Christ Radio in the town of Geraldine, Alabama. Thank you so much for listening to us every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Waiting on Mallory Allen to come in. She had to close down her computer and come back in again for Zoom, but let's go ahead and talk about our guest coming up this week. On Friday, we're going to be talking with everybody's favorite sheriff, Sheriff Nick Weldon. And then 2 p.m., we'll be talking with Greg Cook, and he's candidate for Alabama Supreme Court. And then on Thursday, 12 noon, remember Jimmy Spears will be with us. He's host of Picking on the Ridge, and he is going to have a special guest with him, Renee Wood Young, and she's going to be talking about multiple sclerosis. And then 1 o'clock, I'll be talking with my buddy Rob Patz, where everybody knows your name, with Rob and Donna. And then Ricky Caps with Master's Voice single there, then and there. And then candidate Summer Summerford, who is running for district attorney. We'll be talking with her. Wednesday, we're going to be talking with Chuck and Mary Lynn Bailey, Alabama Fair Tax. 1:30 candidate Brent Rhodes is running for House District 39. And security specialist Rick Staines will be with us. Coming up today at 2 o'clock, we're going to be talking with Lane McCollum. He's candidate for Public Service Commission, place number 2. 1:30, we'll be talking with AP Stedham. Looking forward to seeing him. And then Mallory, when she comes back in, she's having some computer problems. We'll be talking with her. Let's go ahead and talk about our winners. Yes. And we've got lots of great ones too. Of the birthday club and the anniversary club. And I just wanted to mention this: if you would like to be included in the birthday club, the anniversary club, or our date night club, all you got to do is send a text or an email, preferably an email. That way I can kind of copy and paste, and then you'll be a winner if you're selected of one of our clubs. So let me tell you what we're giving away. First of all, Vintage 1889 gives away a $20 gift certificate every single week, and it's pretty awesome as well. Let's go ahead and get Mallory ready, and let's promote her to panelist, and we'll have her on in just a second. Now, this is brought to you by Adams Brown Service Funeral Home. They are located in Albertville. And then also we give away 2 cards every week to Santa Fe Cattle Company. They are located in Albertville and also in Fort Payne. And also Cove Crafters, that is associated with Shepherd's Cove, Santa Fe Cattle Company always serves the food to everybody who goes there. So it's pretty good. I'll tell you what, I even talked Phil into going like last month. Santa Fe. And he goes, I guess I'll try it out then.
It's worth it for a club sandwich, right?
And he enjoyed it. He liked being there. I got tied up in politics, so I didn't get to go this past Thursday. Now, also Papa Doobies is another one of our sponsors. They give away a $20 spam wrist. Do you get those? They give away a $20 gift card every week, and that's for date night. And this is brought to you by our friends at Shepherd's Cove Thrift Shop, located on Highway 431 in Albertville, Alabama. And then also another is Lamone's Mexican Restaurant of Henniger. They give away a $20 gift certificate, brought to you by my buddy, attorney Jeff McCurdy. And they're both located in Henniger, by the way. And also Kudzu Cafe on the Square in Scottsboro gives away a $20 gift certificate, brought to you by my friends at Twin City Used Car Sales. Check them out. You know, Bobby has cars when nobody else does. I don't know what he's doing, but I'll pass by other car lots and there'll be like no cars. And so they've always got a crowd of people out there at Twin City. And also Holy Smokes Barbecue has been with us a very long time, and they give a buy one, get one free large barbecue with a side and a drink to Holy Smokes. And this is brought to you by Liberty Bank, located right here in Geraldine. And then another one, Tigers Inn in Valley Head. They had a previous owner who just closed the doors. And then my friend Adam Golden, who used to be with Santa Fe Cattle Company, he is the new owner. And they got some good food. You can tell Adam is there and his wife Miranda, because I mean they really put a lot of work into it, and they cook for you. I mean, it's like they're cooking for their family. And this is brought to you by Rhonda's Elite Tax Service. Nobody touches my taxes but Rhonda. And since we moved back from Charlotte, North Carolina, she takes care of all my business taxes. and I've never been unhappy with her service. She works for you. However, she knows of any red flags that could come up pertaining to the IRS. And so she will take good care of you. There was something I was going to write off one time, and she said, do you have receipts for that? And I said, of course I have receipts. I keep them. And I keep receipts from 20 years ago, because you never know when the IRS is going to come back on you. And so she said, okay, well, you got receipts, and you're clear. We're going to go for it. And I didn't, she said, I just know that something went out that they're auditing people for a particular whatever, your risk of being audited. And I said, well, I don't care if they do audit me because you're taking care of me. Plus I have my receipts, so I'm happy. Okay, now coming up a little bit later in the show today, Lane McCullum, who is a candidate for Public Service Commission 2. He's going to be with us at 2 o'clock. 1:30, we're going to be talking sports with AP Statham. But right now I've got this beautiful girl. She's practically my daughter. I mean, you know, I've seen her grow up before my very eyes. Her name is Malarie Allen. And we met though when she was with the newspaper. And so she's with Shepherd's Cove. It's so good to be with you, girl.
Oh, it's always good to be here, Donna. I love how every time I come on, we're somewhere closer in relation. Practically a daughter now, so I'll take it.
If I had a daughter, it would be this girl right here. So,
oh, you're so sweet.
Works really hard, and really, they all care about the patients there at Shepherd's Cove. And I think that's well, many things, but this is one thing that really sets you guys aside, apart of anybody else. And
well,
appreciates it.
Well, I like to think so. And I'll say, even as an employee, that the people here was the main reason that I wanted to work here in the first place. I met Shepherd's Cove and some of the people when I was working for a local newspaper. And so, and then I decided that I just wanted to be part of them, because they all had so much passion for the people that they were serving, for the patients and the families in hospice care. And it was amazing to me. And so it's been such a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And there's so many different parts to Shepherd's Cove. The thrift shop is one. You know, they're closed, and I've seen some of y'all, I've passed by and seen some of y'all hanging on the doors on Sundays. They're closed on Sundays. And on Monday, so they can get ready for you for the rest of the week. And so many good things. And Malarie, I got to show this to everybody.
Yes.
So I found this lamp, and anything is going to get my attention if it's got a dog or a cat or a horse or any kind of an animal on it. So the lamp really grabbed my attention. And so this is kind of what it looks like. It's 3 horses, okay? And this was the lamp part. You see this part was the lamp, and then this is where the bulb was, and then there was shade on top of it. And so I'm getting it, and Phil says, what you gonna do with that? And I said, I think I'm going to make a wind chime out of that. So what I took this off, and then I put it, you got to have a heavy duty thread. Now you can do this. Anybody can do this. If I can, anybody can. So what I did is I've got 3 horses, and I'll have to show you how it looks. It kind of makes me think of a carousel. I'm trying to get everything is opposite when you get on Zoom. And so see, this is like a wind chime. There are the 3 horses that were on top. And then I just put some beads and stuff in there. So it kind of has this look of a carousel.
Yes.
The whole thing, I mean, the beads were from a leftover project that I had done from somebody else. And so that's all I did. And
so cute.
I got my drill press, and had, of course, it's metal now. So I got my drill press and made the holes on top of that. But if you like to repurpose things, and you just have this huge imagination that gets you in trouble if you're not busy doing like well, then you can make things. And it's like everybody wants to buy this, and I'm like, no way, because it's got these horses on it. I'm not selling that, and I'll make something else, but I'm not going to sell that. But anyway, you're helping. Let's talk to the folks, because a lot of people know the thrift stores there. It's nice and it's clean, smells good in there. But what's the purpose of Shepherd's Cove Thrift Shop?
Yes. So before I get into that, I just want you to know, one of my favorite things about being on with you is to see what kind of find you have discovered at the thrift shop, and then what you have turned it into. And if you don't have a TikTok account, Donna, you need to create one where you show people how you repurpose all these things, because that would be so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that. But anyway, So yes, the thrift shop is so vital to our mission at Shepherd's Cove Hospice because we provide our hospice services to anybody who needs them, regardless of their ability to pay. So while we know that a lot of people receive hospice services through Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance, there are a whole lot of people, probably more than most of us realize. There are a whole lot of people out there who don't have any method of reimbursement, and we believe they deserve as much care as anybody else. And so we provide that care anyway. And that is only possible through community support. And the thrift shop is a huge, huge part of that. So every time you donate to the thrift shop, we have people who give their unwanted items, and then we sort through them and put them out on the floor, and then people purchase them. A very simple method, right? But it provides a huge amount of income to our agency to help cover the cost of that non-reimbursed care. So every time you donate, every time you buy at the thrift shop, you are supporting people who are walking some of life's most difficult journeys of the end of life and grief. And so it's just a beautiful kind of circle there. And we've had so many people who shopped there, and then they had a loved one who needed hospice services. So they were able to get services through us, and then they turned around and wanted to give back. So they donated to the thrift shop. And I just love to see that.
I love to see that too. I've seen several collections. Sometimes people they'll downsize. Maybe they had this big house. The kids are all out going to college, getting married, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll downsize, and then when they downsize, they don't have room for their collections. And there's several out there at the thrift shop. And one that really caught my eye last week when I was out there was it's a sports memorabilia. And
yes.
all kinds of stuff with sports. And so it's like race card, baseball cards, just all kinds of things. So you need to go out there and check it out. And somebody gave up their Barbie doll collection.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
Every Barbie doll you can possibly think of. There's a Barbie doll for everything. Now they've got Christmas Barbies, and I collect Barbies. And
Do you?
so, yeah, and I've got about all of them out there, I think. And then you'll have Bewitched, like the TV show Bewitched, and just, different ones, Disney characters and stuff like that. So
Yes.
a lot of them are still in the boxes. And that's what a collector wants. They want everything still in the box and is in mint condition. And there's lots of them out there, and a great price on them as well. So you got to go out there and check them out.
Oh, definitely. And I want to, along those lines, encourage everybody to, if you have Facebook, check out the Facebook page and follow it, because sometimes they put information about those high quality collector's items. They'll put that out on Facebook, and they may not necessarily put it on the floor. Or if they do put it on the floor, you're going to see it first on Facebook, because they're really good to put information out there every Monday while they're closed before they open on Tuesday morning. So it's just always good to follow that page if you like to shop thrift stores.
Well, ostrich skin boots out there, the cowboy boots.
Ostrich skin?
Yes, they are beautiful. I wish I could wear them. I would get those. I would grab them. Those things would sell for several $100s. And I think they're like $60 or something like that. And that's a steal for those. And they look like they're brand spanking new. I think they're a size 6.5 narrow. My foot is wide. So the way I could wear them.
For a tiny foot.
Oh, yeah. So you're saving several $100s. And I looked on the bottom, and they look like they've never been worn. They're not scratched. They're like in mud, like I would have them in. But you'll find some super buys. And also, now there are also rewards for shopping there. There's a rewards card. Mm-hmm. And if you go so many times and you get points, they'll put little stamps, and I keep forgetting mine. I guess I just feel like I get such a good deal anyway. That's card when I check out. But you can do that. And the books, by the way, I'm an avid reader, and so the books are on sale for 25 cents. And there's some nice, expensive books out there.
Yes. So if you like to read, or maybe you like to get old books, antique books, things like that, that's a good place to find them. Or maybe you just like to use books in your decor. That's very popular right now. It's just to stack books up just for looks. And so you can go there and find them super cheap, and they look just as good as if you bought the stack in a store, and you're going to do it for much, much cheaper. I've even known of people who decorated for like wedding showers or baby showers, and they purchased kids' books, children's books, or just pretty books and use those for decorations in the showers because it's so cheap. So I think that's a great idea.
I found a 12 volume, and I told our Alabama Secretary of State, John Merrill, about this. So I found, I think it was 12 volume books on Alabama law.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said, how much do you give for them? I said, 25 cents a piece. I said, 25 cents. And he said, well, what kind of shape are they in? I said, they're in excellent shape. They look like they're brand spanking new. I went on ahead and got them. I don't know what I think I'm going to do with Alabama law. I went on ahead and got them. I'll give them to somebody.
Somebody might want to read that.
I like giving stuff away. So, I mean, I just like doing that. It just makes you feel good to give something away. So you can give some nice books away. 25 cents.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of giving stuff away, I've mentioned this idea on here before, but I love it. It's going to dishes. You know, we love to take casseroles and things to people when they're sick or hurt or in the hospital or whatever, or when somebody has died in their family. And so you can go to a thrift store and get a really cheap casserole dish, cook in it, and then just give that to the person, and they don't have to worry about returning it to you. I think that's a great idea.
Better than, you know, like giving them something else than having your name taped all over it.
Yeah.
I've done that back in the day, but that's an excellent idea. And then it's going to be something nice. And because if you go and get something, you know, like a cheap foil, something from the Dollar Tree or whatever, it's going to fall apart. I've done, I've experienced, don't ever do that. So anyway,
that's hard.
Mallory, we only have 2 minutes left in this segment.
Okay. Well,
what would you like to say before you go?
I just want to thank people. I want to mention we had our Race to Remember 5K recently. It was such a wonderful turnout. We were so excited. It's for the first time we did it as a glow run at night, and we had almost 600 participants, which is amazing. Yeah. It was awesome. And so we are so grateful for everybody that participated in that and people who supported it and couldn't be there. And even beyond that, we have a generous, wonderful community. And I want everyone to know that our mission to provide that care and support at the end of life is only possible because people in the community care enough to give. And so we're just appreciative of everything that people do, whether it's supporting the thrift shop or making donations or making in-kind gifts and giving them to us. So, you know, we have some groups that make homemade items, quilts or adult bibs or things like that, and they give them to our patients, and that means so much. And we have some people that give canned goods, that like food and non-perishable items that we can share with patients who have a need for that. And so we appreciate all of it. And you know, we just have a wonderful community. We're a community-based hospice, and we are here to serve the community, and the community serves us. And it's just a beautiful, again, beautiful circle there.
Absolutely. Now, what's the next event?
That will be the summer soiree, and it's coming up on August 26th. So we've got that coming up now. Before that, though, we also have Camp Hope, which is a grief support camp for children and families. So if you have a child in your family who has lost someone significant in their life, it is free of charge. And there are all kinds of activities throughout the day that you can participate in as a family. And each one is geared to teach family members how to cope with grief in everyday life, you know, because we know that grief often hits when we're at home, not when we're in a support group or talking to a counselor. So we want to make sure that our families have the tools they need to cope with it when they're home by themselves.
Absolutely. Well, Mallory, thank you for being on the show. Kiss the babies for me.
Will do. Thank you, Donna.
Okay, folks, let's get ready for the next segment. I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Love you, girl. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on ICN Christ Radio. We're in the town of Geraldine, Alabama, usually, but today, Phil, we're in Bridgeport, Alabama. And I wanted to capture this interview with Phil Rowland, and he's a developer, and a lot of things are happening here in Bridgeport.
They really are. We're excited. We have a 72-acre development out on Highway 72 called the Creekside Development. Multi-purpose development. We have a small hospital that we're finishing construction on right now. Be opening up in a couple months, called Creekside Hospital. We have plans to build housing. We've opened up a climate control storage facility there to build some apartments. Have plans for a travel center, restaurants, hotel.
This is really a happening place. And I really love Bridgeport. And if you'll just come out to the town and just take a tour, you'll see what I'm talking about. Lots of old with the new coming in.
Yes. You know, I come from a small town, Athens, Tennessee, and I learned early on. I remember when they were building interstates.
I remember that.
And when the interstate bypassed downtown Athens, Athens kind of started moving out to the interstate. And I always remembered that wherever the traffic pattern is where development needs to go.
It is. I grew up in Oxford on the I-20. And the way we used to go to the Birmingham Zoo was on Highway 78.
Right.
And then I-20 comes in. It was just the best thing that ever happened.
Yep. So I had a couple options when I decided to develop the hospital. And I wanted to be on Highway 72 because I thought that would be the ideal place for it. And I think it's going to pan out. It's going to be the right decision. And I think you're going to see all of 72 start developing at a faster pace, not just my 72 acres, but even the parcels around it.
I think so too. And another thing I like about this area is how close you are to other towns, but you have a small town too.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
You can have the big city if you want to.
Well, you know, Bridgeport has a great location. We're about 45 minutes from Huntsville, about 30 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. That's pretty central.
It most certainly is. And I wanted to mention this to you. If you're watching this show live on Facebook Live, you're watching it on television, or you go back and watch an archive of the show, if you're a business owner and you're thinking about maybe just driving through this area, you're coming in, maybe from Chattanooga going into Huntsville, you really need to stop by and check it out.
Really do. I can tell the business people, the developers, when we were looking at the Highway 72 location, we looked at the radius around it. And within about 15 minutes of the hospital, if you dropped a pin in the middle of the lobby, there's about 28,000 people. Pockets of 3,000 or 4,000 here or there, but that's very centralized. 15 minutes and 28,000 people.
That's not bad at all. And you're a retail establishment or you're a restaurant, that's good news.
It is. What we want that development to be, we're working on is what we call point of destination. We want you to be able to come out, come to the hospital and get something you need done there, but also have a restaurant to eat, check on your storage, your climate control storage, and hopefully go through a bank, make a deposit or withdraw from your bank. So we have a plans to make it a point where you can accomplish 3, 4, or 5 things when you come there.
Absolutely. And we came to the ribbon cutting several weeks ago, and the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce is a huge supporter of what's happening right here. We love the folks there. I'm a member, a very happy member of the Chamber of Commerce. But we're talking about the hospital, but now state-of-the-art apartments.
It is. We just finished 16 apartments. A young couple out of Chattanooga investors purchased those. And they're the nicest apartments in this area. They would be equal to anything you'd have in Huntsville, Chattanooga. 10-foot ceilings, granite, 2 bedrooms.
I noticed the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the kitchen was really nice little granite countertops.
A lot of cabinets for the ladies. So again, you can't find anything anywhere close to in this area. And we have plans to build more. How many more? I'm not sure. Google's going to drive a lot of that when they open back up construction. Right now we have 2 bedrooms. We're probably going to do some 1-bedroom apartments.
Absolutely. And in Bridgeport, we were talking earlier, in an earlier segment, about the school system here. And what's really neat, Phil, about the school system here is, first of all, you get in trouble in school, your mom's going to know about it before you get home. And so there's tight control there with the parents who work in conjunction with the teachers. And I like that.
Yeah. Everybody knows everybody. And you can't do too much and not somebody know about it.
That's true. You'll get in trouble before you get home.
Even if you're an adult.
Yeah, watch it, adults. Absolutely. We were talking earlier about Christmas. Christmas is always it's like a Christmas card. It makes me think of Bedford Falls.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. And the way before all of this started happening, it's just beautiful. You just gotta come by and travel and see it.
I think most small towns really appreciate the holidays and celebrate it, and Bridgeport certainly is in that category. They go all out as a community. It's nice to see.
Rowland is with us right now. He's a developer, and I'm so glad I met you. Actually, the mayor of my town wants to talk with you.
Great.
So we're gonna get something set up right there as well. So we're talking about Bridgeport, Alabama, really in a great area. You're not that far from the Tennessee state line. There's South Pittsburgh, just right around the corner.
Yeah, I'd say no more than 5 miles from state line.
That's true. And there's a nice theater out there. Have you checked it out? In South Pittsburgh, it's really nice too. So you want to do a little date night and go to the theater. It's not that far of a drive.
No, oh God, you can 5-10 minutes of anything in Marion County there. Again, you're 30 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. If you're in Bridgeport and you want to go something downtown to the aquarium or a nice restaurant, you're 30 minutes away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we used to look for a Fridays everywhere we went, or a Hard Rock Cafe. Wouldn't it be neat if a Hard Rock Cafe came in here?
That would be. I wouldn't pull that out. We're going to have a couple of restaurants out there for sure.
Everywhere we travel, we go to a Hard Rock Cafe. I've had a Hard Rock Cafe Barbie. I'm a Barbie collector.
I do not remember seeing those.
Oh yeah, that's several years ago. We went to, where was it? We went to Niagara Falls. And so it was out there in the gift shop. So that was pretty awesome there as well. Small town. And I'll tell you another town this Bridgeport makes me think of, and that's Mount Airy, North Carolina.
I've been there too. It has a little feel to it like that.
Andy Griffith's hometown.
Yeah, actually, you still go sit in some of the cars and
Get
your haircut. Got the little jail you go sit in that can't think the guy's name. He used to put in jail all the time.
Yeah, Otis.
Otis.
I feel I have no life. I can quote Andy Griffith's shows. It's kind of bad when I do that. But yeah, it's really good. So, but this town reminds me of Mount Airy. And it's a tourist destination. It really is. By the way, you can buy Aunt Bee's pickles out there too.
I don't remember that.
I'll send the link to you. You got to see that show. It's a good one as well. We're running off. Wow, time's flying by. We've already been on for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell the folks before you leave there? I know you're busy and have some places.
Well, I'd really like to promote the hospital we got opening up. It's a prototype. It's got some special features. You can't find anything in a small town USA like this. And it's going to be for behavioral health, but we also have a medical clinic attached to it. We're excited about the services we'll be offering to the community. We're going to have a couple of physicians or physician extenders in there running office hours. We're going to have, we hope, a 24-hour emergency walk-in clinic. We're going to have CT, MRI, radiology, imaging, so the people won't have to travel out of the area to get those services. And one of the things you can do now in healthcare is we're all experiencing with COVID is telemedicine. So if there's oncology patients that have an oncologist in Huntsville or Birmingham or Chattanooga, they can come out there. We can do their scan. We can basically FaceTime their oncologist, and we can say, hey, your scan looks good. You don't need to come see me. So we're excited about what we'll be able to do for the people. Our website, creeksidehospitaal.com. Again, creeksidehospitaal.com. We're taking applications. Probably have about 35 people already applied for positions there. So we'll start hopefully sometime in May screening those and start the interview process.
Absolutely. You know, if you've been living in this area and you've been going to Chattanooga or Huntsville, maybe you can be home. Yeah, and not spend so much money on the gasoline.
That's our goal. Is we want to provide as many services as the local community wants us to provide and support, and that's our goal.
And you got a fantastic mayor out here. We just love Bubba Hughes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Everybody's great in this town.
Phil, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I had to. When I found out you were in town, I said, get him.
Well,
go talk to Phil. Absolutely. I'll be in contact with you with our mayor as well.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for watching. I know you could be doing anything else, but you're watching us. We definitely appreciate that. You can find us on YouTube as well, facebook.com. Find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You take care, and I'll see you on Monday, okay?
Facial